Let us try to understand the concept of statehood. The Philippines is a state, and with the Philippines as a state, there are certain consequences that it is entitled to, no, and is subject to. But foremost, what is a state? According to CIR versus Campus Rueda, it's a politically organized sovereign community, independent of outside control, bound by the penalties of nationhood, legally supreme within its territory, acting through a government functioning under a regime of law. Dissecting this case, we get the basic elements of what a state is, no? What consists a state before it comes into being. These elements, in the case of CIR versus Campus Rueda, seem to be the same with the elements of a state in the Montevideo, determined by the Montevideo Convention, Article 1, which says that a state is an entity that has a defined territory and a permanent population under the control of its own government and engages in or has the capacity to engage in formal relations with other entities or other such entities or states. Dissecting the definitions, we have these elements: territory, people, government, sovereignty. Insofar as territory is concerned, it is the fixed portion of the surface of the earth inhabited by the people of the state. When you speak of territory, we have a notion that nomads cannot be considered as a state because they lack the occupation of a fixed portion of the surface of the earth, unless perhaps the nomads transfer from one area to another under the same territory. You know? Speak of people, people refers simply to the inhabitants of the state. They need not be citizens. Though in the Constitution, the term people is understood in many ways. No, the key here is that there must be the possibility of the sustainability of the state, because if the population cannot be sustained, then it would miss one element, uh, and the state ceases to become a state. No? um, does it require similar gender or procreation? I don't think so, because the Vatican is a state, but I don't think there is a priority in procreation there. No? But it can be sustained because of the structure and the system in the Philippine church, or in the Catholic Church, which allows the entry of the members of the church and its members of its clergy. No? Um, you have also the government as a third element of the state. It is the agency or instrumentality through which the will of the state is formulated, expressed, and defined. Then we have sovereignty, the supreme and uncontrollable power inherent in the state by which the state is governed. Well, actually, sovereignty and state government could be interchanged with each other in ordinary use, because it is the government that carries out the inherent powers of the state. It is the government that steers uh, public policy, foreign relations. No, it's the government that has the manifestation of the um, external capacity for external relations and the authority over internally over its territory. Um, but we'll go back again to all these elements when we discuss each element thoroughly, no, in the succeeding videos. So you go back to the definition of a state here. Uh, the regime of law is mentioned in the CIR, the case of CIR versus Campos Rueda, but actually it does not refer to the constitution, because a constitution is not an element of statehood. Remember Republic versus Sandigan Bayan, Ramas and Dimaano, where we had a stage in our constitutional history that there was an interregnum, because there was a gap between the People Power Revolution and Freedom Constitution. No? There was a gap, a void where we were constitutionless. No? Um, but we cannot say that we ceased to become a state, no? Because we had then people, territory, sovereignty, and government. A constitution is not an element or requirement for statehood. In fact, there is a there is notion in political science on as earned sovereignty. Well, the creation of a constitution may be ideal for a state to earn its sovereignty as it creates institution, no? Or when it is given when it is in that stage of infrastructure building, or in the stage of um, a shared and conditional or continued sovereignty, or shared or conditional sovereignty in that stage where they are still establishing its statehood. No, there is a there is a constitution may be good to exist then. The constitution may come after when the state has already been organized. Yung kasing earned sovereignty is we have a scenario whereby a parent state may have control over the territory, but here is a sub-state that has a growing clamor for its independence or autonomy from the parent state. Eventually, it creates its own qualifications for statehood. And through negotiations, or international mediation, or election, they become autonomous from the parent state. That's a earned sovereignty. But after that comes the possibility of a constitution. No? So the statehood of a nation does it require recognition? Do we need international recognition in order for us to become a state? Well, you have two theories there. You have the constitutive theory and the declarative theory. The constitutive theory says that any state completes its negotiation, it completes its formation through the recognition of other states. So recognition is required. The declarative theory rules out the requirement of state recognition, and by the completion of the four elements of statehood, they automatically become state, no, without the necessity of international recognition. But if you come to look at this theory, while declarative theory, the elimination of the requirement of recognition is more liberated, no. The constitutive theory recognizes perhaps the difficulty of a state to enter into foreign relations if it does not enjoy the recognition of other states as well. The same Montevideo Convention says that the political existence of the state, following the declarative theory, is independent of the recognition of other states. In fact, a state is supreme as it is, no, within its territory. And in fact, can assert theoretically itself against other states. No, the nod of other states is not required under the Montevideo Convention. However, without recognition, the state's capacity to, as I said earlier, enter into relations with other states is greatly limited. No? Take, for instance, the case of Timor-Leste. Easier for it to enter into relationships with other states because of its recognition as a state already. Look at Taiwan. Taiwan has difficulty in entering into foreign trade relations with some nations because of the fear of other nations or other states to consequences in relations from the motherland in China. So what's the difference between a state and a nation? Actually, in the Constitution, there is no difference because they are interchangeably used as terms referring to the state. Nation is more of an ethnic term. State is a more of a legal concept. No? Nation, Filipino nation, Bangsamoro is a nation in itself. It's an ethnic concept. But in the Constitution, state and nation are interchangeably used. What kind of a state is the Philippines? The Philippines is a republican state. In Section 1, Article 2 says that the Philippines is a democratic and republican state. Sovereignty resides on the people and all governmental authority emanates from them. The mark of republican form, democratic form of government is that the control of the state is not by a monarchy, but it is through the voice of the people. No? Political rights are enjoyed by citizens regardless of social or economic distinctions. Your vote and my vote are the same. The vote of a pauper is the same as the vote of the elite. So the equality in the eyes of of the law when it comes to the exercise of your social in the exercise of your civil or political rights. No, but again, this is not a government of a monarchy. It is ruled by the people through their representatives. In fact, all governmental authority, says Navarro versus Comelec, emanates from the people. Sovereignty resides in the people, and all governmental authority emanates from them, says the Constitution. You look at the Constitution, it is even promulgated by the Filipino people by saying that in the preamble, we, the sovereign Filipino people, imploring the aid of Almighty God, and so on and so forth, do ordain and promulgate this Constitution. So all governmental authority, even the Constitution, is from the people. That's how democracy and the Republican government works. Let's continue with this on the next video.